What is this? Why are we still sinking? Stop this right now, I don't like this game.
In the heart of the ancient Dandaka forest, where the trees grew so thick they blotted out the midday sun, and the vines tangled like the matted hair of sages, there flowed the great river Ganges. On the banks of this holy river stood a gigantic Jamun tree, a rose apple tree, older than the memory of the forest itself. Its branches were wide and welcoming, spreading over the water like protective arms. And it was forever laden with fruit, as sweet as nectar and as soft as butter. In this tree lived a monkey named Raktamukha, which means red face. He was no ordinary monkey. He was wise, solitary, and content with his lot in life. He spent his days leaping from branch to branch, eating the divine fruit and watching the river flow endlessly toward the sea. He had no family and few cares, yet sometimes in the quiet of the evening, when the crickets began their song, he felt a pang of loneliness. One afternoon, the heat lay heavy on the riverbank. The water barely rippled, and the jungle held its breath. As Raktamukha sat nibbling on a particularly juicy rose apple, he noticed a disturbance in the water. A massive shape broke the surface, rough, armored skin, a long snout, and eyes that glinted like polished stones. It was Karalamukha, a crocodile from the distant marshes, who had swum far upstream in search of food. Karalamukha dragged his heavy body onto the sandy bank beneath the Jamun tree and collapsed, panting. He looked exhausted and starved. Raktamukha, watching from above, felt a stir of compassion. "Greetings, traveler of the waters," he called out. "You look as though you have swum against the current for many days. You must be hungry." The crocodile looked up, squinting against the sun. "I am indeed," he rasped, his voice sounding like grinding stones. "I have found no fish in these waters, and my strength is failing." "Then you are my guest," said the monkey warmly. "Catch." Raktamukha plucked a handful of the ripest, darkest Jamun berries and tossed them down. They landed near the crocodile's snout. Karalamukha ate them, and his eyes widened. He had never tasted anything so sweet. The juice revived his spirit and soothed his parched throat. He ate until he was full, and for the first time in weeks, he felt peace. "You are kind, O monkey," said the crocodile. "I have eaten many things in the murky depths, but nothing compares to this fruit. I am Karalamukha." "I am Raktamukha," replied the monkey. "Come back whenever you wish. The tree has plenty to share." Thus began an unlikely friendship between the dweller of the trees and the beast of the waters. Every day as the sun climbed to its zenith, Karalamukha would swim to the Jamun tree. Raktamukha would be waiting with a pile of selected fruit. They would eat together, one on the branch, one on the sand, and talk for hours.
"The sky holds the dreams of the ancients, Karalamukha. But the true wisdom, the philosophy of our
They spoke of the strange creatures of the deep ocean and the fierce predators of the high jungle. They discussed the philosophy of life, the nature of dharma, and the changing seasons. The monkey found in the crocodile a captive audience for his wit, and the crocodile found in the monkey a generosity he had never known in the cold, eat-or-be-eaten world of the river. "You are my brother," Karalamukha said one day, tears of gratitude in his reptilian eyes. "I have a wife and a home on the sandbank far downstream, but I find no joy there equal to your company." "Friendship is the sweetest fruit of all," Raktamukha replied, tossing him another berry. One evening, Karalamukha said, "I must return home earlier today. My wife worries when I am gone too long, but I wish she could taste this divine fruit." "Take some to her," insisted Raktamukha. He gathered the finest rose apples and placed them in the crocodile's mouth. "Tell her they are a gift from your brother." Karalamukha swam home, his heart light. When he arrived at the sandbank, he presented the fruit to his wife. She was a creature of sharp teeth and sharper instincts, suspicious by nature. She ate the fruit, and a look of greedy delight crossed her face. "Nectar," she exclaimed. "Where did you find this? We have nothing like this in the marshes." "I have a friend," boasted Karalamukha, "a monkey who lives on the great Jamun tree upstream. He feeds me these every day."
Tell me, my love, where is your little friend hiding the fruit these days?
The wife's eyes narrowed. She chewed the fruit slowly, a dark thought taking root in her mind. "He eats this fruit every day," she asked softly. "Every single day. It is his only food," the crocodile replied innocently. "Then," she whispered, her voice trembling with a terrible hunger, "think how sweet his heart must be. A creature who lives on nothing but nectar. His flesh must be made of sugar, and his heart must be the sweetest thing in all creation." She looked at her husband. "I want his heart. Bring him to me."
He is my brother.
Karalamukha recoiled in horror. "Wife, what are you saying? He is my sworn brother. He fed me when I was starving. He gives me gifts. I cannot kill him." The wife flew into a rage. She thrashed her tail, churning up the mud of the riverbank. "You care more for a monkey than for your own wife? You let him insult me by feeding me scraps while he keeps his sweetheart for himself. If you do not bring him to me, I will starve myself to death. I will not eat another bite until I taste the heart of that monkey." For days, the argument raged. Karalamukha begged, pleaded, and reasoned. He spoke of the sin of betrayal, the sacred laws of friendship, and the heavy karma of ingratitude. But his wife was unmoved. She lay on the mud, closing her eyes, refusing to eat, feigning that her breath was fading.
He has poisoned everything. You must send him away, or I shall surely die.
"I am dying," she gasped on the third day. "My blood runs cold. Only the warm heart of the monkey can save me now. If you love me, you will do this."
If you choose him over me, Karalamukha, I cannot survive this betrayal.
Defeated, broken, and weak of will, Karalamukha surrendered. "I will bring him," he whispered, his soul heavy with shame. "I will bring him to you."
I will bring him.
The treacherous invitation. He swam back upstream, the water feeling like lead against his scales. When he reached the Jamun tree, Raktamukha greeted him with a cheer. "You have been away for days, friend. I was worried. Is all well?" Karalamukha forced a smile, hiding his treacherous intent. "All is well, Raktamukha. In fact, it is better than well. My wife was so enchanted by the fruit you sent that she scolded me. She said, 'How can you accept such kindness and never offer hospitality in return?' She has prepared a great feast in your honor and demands that I bring you home for dinner. She wishes to meet the brother I talk about so much."
Raktamukha, my friend. My wife would be honored if you joined us for a small feast in the marshes.
The monkey clapped his hands in delight. "A feast? A visit to your home? How wonderful! I have never seen the South Marshes. But alas, my friend, I'm a creature of the trees. I cannot swim." "Fear not," said the crocodile smoothly. "Climb onto my back. I will carry you across the river safely. It is a smooth ride, and you shall not even wet your fur." Trusting his friend completely, Raktamukha leaped down from the safety of the Jamun tree. He settled himself on the broad, rough back of the crocodile, holding on to the ridges of his scales. "Let us go," cried the monkey. The crocodile pushed off into the current. At first, the ride was pleasant. The monkey chattered about the scenery, pointing out birds and fish. But as they reached the middle of the river, where the current was deep and dark and the banks were far away on either side, Karalamukha began to sink lower into the water. Raktamukha splashed in panic. "Brother, brother, you are swimming too low. The water is wetting my legs. Be careful or I shall drown."
Wait! Karalamukha, stop! The water's too deep. I can't swim.
The crocodile looked back, and in that moment his guilt overwhelmed him. He felt he owed his friend at least the truth before the end. "I cannot help it, Raktamukha," the crocodile said, his voice trembling. "I am not taking you to a feast. I am taking you to your death." The monkey froze. What? What are you saying?" "My wife," the crocodile sobbed. "She is wicked and obstinate. She believes that because you eat only sweet fruit, your heart must be the sweetest thing in the world. She has sworn to die unless she eats your heart. I tried to stop her, but she is my wife. I must sacrifice you to save her."
Terror gripped Raktamukha's heart. He looked at the black water swirling around him. He looked at the distant banks. There was no escape. If he fought, the crocodile would simply dive, and he would drown. He had to think fast. He had to be sharper than the teeth waiting for him.
My heart? My heart?
He forced his voice to be steady. He forced a laugh. "Oh, Karalamukha," the monkey chuckled, though his heart hammered against his ribs. "You foolish crocodile. Why didn't you tell me this before we left the tree?"
Oh, you foolish crocodile!
The crocodile stopped swimming, confused. "What do you mean?" "My heart," said the monkey, slapping his forehead. "If you had told me your wife wanted my heart, I would have brought it along with pleasure. I would give my life for your wife, for you are my brother. But you see, we monkeys are very cautious. We do not carry our hearts around in our chests where they might get bruised as we jump from branch to branch." You don't?" asked the crocodile, blinking. "Of course not," Raktamukha cried. "We keep them safe in the hollow of the Jamun tree during the day. Right now, my heart is sitting in the nest wrapped in leaves. I am essentially empty inside." The crocodile's jaw dropped. "Your heart is back at the tree?" "Yes, and look at us," the monkey said, gesturing to the empty water. "We are going to your wife without the very thing she desires. She will be furious if we arrive and I have no heart to give her. She will think you tricked her." "That is true," the crocodile muttered in panic. "She will be in a rage. What should we do?" "We must turn back," commanded the monkey. "Take me back to the tree quickly. I will climb up, get my heart, and then we can go to your wife. I will present it to her myself." The foolish crocodile, blinded by his own guilt and the monkey's confidence, believed him. "You are right, my friend. We must go back. Hold on tight." Karalamukha turned around and swam with all his might against the current, racing back toward the Jamun tree. The monkey sat silently, praying to all the gods of the forest.
As soon as they reached the familiar bank, before the crocodile could even fully ground himself, Raktamukha leaped. He sprang from the crocodile's back like an arrow, caught a hanging vine, and scrambled up into the highest, safest branches of the Jamun tree. He sat there, clutching the trunk, panting heavily, his heart beating wildly within his chest, right where it had always been. The crocodile waited below. "Well, friend," he called out, "have you found it? Bring your heart down so we may go. My wife is waiting." Raktamukha looked down at the creature he had once loved, his fear turning to anger and pity. "You fool!" Raktamukha shouted, plucking a hard, unripe fruit and throwing it at the crocodile's head. "Here is some food for your hunger, but you shall never have my heart." "But you said it was in the hollow," the crocodile stammered. "You blockhead," the monkey laughed, a harsh, sad sound. "Does anyone remove their heart and live? My heart beats within me, just as yours beats within you. I gave you friendship, I gave you food, and in return, you tried to kill me for a woman's vanity." The crocodile realized he had been tricked. He realized too that he had lost everything: his friend, the sweet fruit, and his honor. "Friend," the crocodile began. "Do not call me friend," Raktamukha said, his voice stern. "There can be no friendship between the predator and the prey, nor between the wise and the treacherous. Go back to your wicked wife. Tell her she will eat fish and mud for the rest of her days, for she has cost you the sweetness of the Jamun tree forever." With a heavy splash, Karalamukha turned away. He swam back down the river, sinking into the murky depths, carrying nothing but his shame and the bitter taste of regret. Raktamukha sat alone in his tree. The sun was setting, painting the river in shades of gold and blood. He was safe and he was wise, but as he ate his sweet fruit that evening, he found it tasted just a little less sweet than before, for it was no longer shared with a friend.